Well, when you say money wins, though, you're at the middle of a fight that I believe is noble, historic, important. You have put your life and important things on hold in order to lead the writers in what is just simply a noble cause. Hey, CEOs who run all of entertainment and make all of the money, can you just be slightly less greedy dip? Can you be slightly less, just a little bit less? Treat writers like human beings. You need the content. You need the entertainment and creativity. It seems like all of these bloated CEOs don't exactly know how to extract themselves from the situation that they're presently in. But things are now getting tight because they have all the money in the world, and you guys have been on strike for 5 months, and the content hit hasn't actually hurt yet. It's about to. If you guys could hold out for 18 months or a year, you could actually change the game because people would get super pissed off. But so far, they're not noticing the content hit. And here comes, and you tell me if this report is true, Vanity Fair, Drew Barrymore plans on resuming without her writers. It appears, according to Vanity Fair. And if she does that, that's somebody feeling like she's crossing a picket line. Even, Mike, as Ben Affleck and a whole bunch of other people, The Rock, donate $1 million each, 15 celebrities, to just make sure you guys can hold out for a little longer. You received this news how? Is it expected? Is some of this bound to happen? You're not going to have a unified force that's totally unified.
I don't think it was expected. It's unfortunate, in my opinion. I think if you want to be empathetic, you would say that when you are a person who has a show named after you, you are also responsible. You feel responsible for the crew, the folks who work on your show. Those folks are hurting right now because no one's been making TV in a while. And so there is a mindset that says, I will not have any writing. I won't break a strike rule, but I will but do my show, and then the people who work on the show can start making paychecks again. The problem is it just prolongs the strike. The reason strikes work is because you deny the labor and the product that you make to the companies who own those products and hire that labor. And it's just it's a miscalculation, I think. It just doesn't quite... The juice is not worth the squeeze, and it would be better if everyone in both unions just said, we're not doing anything. We're not going to perform any task for these companies until you offer us a good deal. So I don't know how long it's going to last. I think there's already been reports out of New York that folks the WGA picketed the show. It's a struck show. It's a struck company. And people were wearing pins and went into the audience to watch the show and then got kicked out by security. It seems like a mess, and I wish it weren't happening. And I think that the best way to do this when you have to do it, and no one wants to do it. Like, no one wants this. We want to be back at work, both unions. But when you do it, you have to do it completely because that's the way to make it as short as possible.
What do you think is happening with public perception? It seems to me, I don't know if this is a lot different than at any other time in America, but I'm a bit surprised that everybody is just fed up with the billionaires finally saying, hey, you guys don't actually earn in a way that's noble all that you earn as you destroy these industries and sell them for parts, whether it's journalism or entertainment. Something shifted here. I don't remember this many people just siding with labor and saying that someone who's viewed as a brilliant businessman, that Bob Iger doesn't deserve every dollar that he makes. Usually people side with Iger, it feels like to me.
Yeah, well, we've seen this in, like you say, a bunch of industries, right? Like in 2007 when we went on strike, the press was very anti-WGA. All of the articles were talking about you spoiled writers and you're ruining everything and whatever. This time it's been totally different. And my read on it, I don't know if I'm right, but my read on it is that the journalists writing those articles have also had their industry gutted by tech money and VC money. And so now the people who are actually reporting on the labor struggle have been the victims of a really unpleasant labor struggle. And I think you see that in sports when athletic unions went on strike in the past. It was all like, boo, you spoiled jerks, get back to work. But now, like, people are finally starting to realize that just because you inherited a football team from your dad doesn't mean that you're some kind of brilliant genius who deserves everything that you have, and that there might be something to, the football players should have better healthcare. Like, that's a pretty uncontroversial argument. It just never used to get made. So I think there has been a shift. It's not as complete a shift as I would prefer, but I think there has been a shift towards people finally understanding that just because a person has a job, even if it's a high paying job, that doesn't mean that the onus is completely on those people to get back to work when there's a labor dispute. That maybe the billionaires who own everything could be a tiny bit more generous. And the amount of money that we're asking from these people is minuscule. I mean, it's nothing. It's couch cushion change for Amazon and Apple and Disney and everybody else. So I'm glad that message is finally getting through.